Yo, what's going on everyone? Nathan here. So about a month and a half ago, I moved into my very first apartment, and probably the two things that I was most excited for was to have a larger area to create my videos and to make a desk setup that I have been dreaming of since I started this channel. I've been working on this since I moved in, and I feel like it is finally ready for me to do a big reveal to you all. So here it is. This is my brand new desk setup. And I think the best place to start is with the desk itself, because this is probably one of the biggest upgrades I have made to my entire setup. If you've seen any of my other desk setups before, then you know I have been just given random desks of so many different shapes and sizes throughout college, and I never actually had a nice one of my own. So this is why when FlexiSpot reached out to me about a collaboration and offered me a desk to feature in a video, I just couldn't turn down this opportunity. This is the FlexiSpot Pro Plus E7 standing desk. The desktop I went with is their pure white chipboard material that spans 60 inches by 24 inches. And if white isn't your thing, then this desktop is also offered in many different colors, patterns, and materials, but I wanted to keep a clean setup with a white, blue, and oak theme. The desktop has rounded corners so accidental bumps won't ruin your whole day, and this gives me plenty of surface area to have a great foundation for the rest of my setup. The frame is a modern and minimal semi-C structure with two sturdy legs. This C structure pushes the legs back further into the desk, giving you more leg and storage room underneath the desk so you don't find yourself accidentally hitting your legs against it. Each leg has its own 3-stage overlapping column pipes, which increases the overall stability of this desk because of the extra added material. And the feet at the bottom of each leg are wide and extend out enough, which solidify the stability of this desk. And with a maximum loading capacity of 440 pounds, this desk is absolutely no joke. When rising, the legs extend with this really satisfying motor sound that isn't too loud, and these legs have a range of 25 inches to 50.6 inches. So yeah, basically when this is at max height, I look like I'm pretty much riding a Harley Davidson. The rising feature is controlled by their premium keypad, which you can decide which side of the desk you want to install this on. There are 7 touch capacitive buttons that allow you to easily rise or lower this desk, with an LED display in the middle to show you the height of the desk that it's currently at. The arrows control the height, and the M button is how you create your pre-saves, and it will also activate as a child safety lock. To the right of the LED display, you will find 4 buttons that store the heights perfect to you for seamless transitions. And just to add a little bonus, but there is also a USB-A port on the side of this keypad, which I know isn't USB-C, but it's definitely nice to have right there just to charge up a device real quick. The motion of rising and lowering this desk is really smooth and consistent, so it won't knock over or damage anything on the desk while adjusting. I have really come to enjoy the standing mode for about 20-minute intervals to give my lower back a break while doing long editing sessions, and I don't know how I used to be able to sit through that beforehand. Now I don't think I can ever go back to a non-standing desk. So FlexiSpot did also send me a few accessories for this desk just to get the most out of it. These are the cable tray and under desk drawer, which are both very discreet and allow me to organize and hide all unwanted cables to keep a very clean, minimal setup underneath my desk. And the last accessory is the power clamp strip, which screws down onto the edge of the desk so it won't move, and it gives you access to 3 additional outlets and 2 USB-C ports just an arm's length away. Overall, this desk has been absolutely amazing for me, and I highly recommend this desk to anyone out there trying to level up their home desk setup. So while FlexiSpot did send me this desk to feature in a video, this is not being sponsored by them, but if you are interested in picking one up for yourself, then there is a Black Friday sale going on right now, and at checkout, if you use the code FlexiSpot30, you'll actually get $30 off this desk right here, which I think makes it that much better. So moving on from the desk, since my last video, I've also massively upgraded my chair, and man is this a nice one. This is the ErgoTune Supreme V3, which has a total of 11 different adjustment points to give you the ultimate ergonomic comfort. There are all height, backrest, arm, seat depth, stiffness, head, and my favorite, lumbar support adjustments built into this chair. This is made out of their DuraWeave hybrid mesh material, so it is super breathable and soft, and one unique feature is the armrest can swivel out 270 degrees to give your arms and wrist support over your desk while working. So I have a very weak lower back, and that's probably from years of both powerlifting and playing hockey, but beforehand I used to have to sit down during long editing sessions and like sit through that pain. And since this combination of the standing desk and a fantastic ergonomic desk chair with great lumbar support, my back has been so much better, and this allows me to work for longer periods at a time, which has just boosted my productivity immensely. So if you want to learn more about this ErgoTune chair, then I did recently make a full review video of that, and I'll link it here on the screen. And also, just for future reference, a lot of these products I'm about to mention I have done dedicated review videos for, so whenever that product comes up, I'll link the review video if I have made one for it on the screen, just like a future warning so I don't have to keep repeating this. So let's finally get into some tech, and I think the best place to start with that is actually the core of this desk setup, and that is my 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro. This has by far been the best purchase I've ever made, and this is such a great laptop. The screen is a gorgeous 120Hz Liquid Retina XDR display. It has accurate colors, gets really bright, and has a form factor that makes it perfect to bring with me on the go. And it also has ports for everything I could need, including an SD card slot, which is so great to have, especially when you work with video so much. I have the base M1 Pro model, and for about 90% of the video editing I have done in Final Cut Pro, it has worked flawlessly. So unfortunately, I think I am starting to outgrow this laptop, as some of the projects that I've worked on actually need more RAM for them to render. So I do plan on upgrading to like an M2 or M3 model, hopefully sometime soon. But overall, I just can't recommend these laptops enough. And if you do have a little extra money, then I do recommend getting like the M2 or M3 counterpart to whichever processor you were planning on getting. But overall, this laptop is just absolutely amazing. Moving over to my monitor, this is the LG 27UN850 Ultrafine Monitor. At the time of making this video, this monitor cost $375, and for that price, you are getting a modern bezel-less design with a beautiful 4K 27-inch display that makes it versatile for so many applications. This is an IPS panel, which means it has very accurate colors at 99% sRGB, and it also has great viewing angles with the standard aspect ratio of 16:9. However, this is only a 60 Hz refresh rate display, so it might not be the best for people who are looking to game a lot on it, but me personally, I don't game on my monitor, so this actually doesn't bother me at all. And at 350 nits of brightness, this has been plenty bright for me in my scenario, and also with the help from the 3H anti-glare coating, you just block out most unwanted light sources. So this is one area of my desk setup that I do want to eventually upgrade to 2 monitors, because I just think that'll give me a lot more screen real estate while video editing. I think that'll help me out a lot. But for right now, and what this monitor gives me, it has been so great, and I couldn't have probably asked for a better first monitor. So this monitor is mounted to the VIVO articulating spring arm in all white. I recently picked this up to 1, save space on my desk by having it float over it, and 2 is so I can easily move and adjust this monitor based on whether or not I'm sitting or standing. It essentially levitates and allows you to rotate and move your monitor anywhere you need it to be. I ran both the display and power cords down the arm cable clips for a cleaner look, and I think this was a necessary upgrade for my setup for just about $40. And on top of my monitor is the BenQ screen bar monitor light. So this accessory right here is probably something that you aren't like super excited to like invest in, but I'm telling you, once when you actually have one, you really don't ever want to have a desk setup without it again. It just clips onto the top of your monitor and it brightens up your entire desk space. This gets surprisingly bright with 500 lux lumens, and there are 4 buttons on top to adjust the overall brightness and color temperature of the light. This monitor light also features an asymmetrical design so it doesn't leave a glare on your screen. I think this light bar is just a solid pickup for anyone who does a lot of late night working, very similar to like what I do. And like, just for example, when you turn it off, it really makes a huge difference, and it just keeps everything nice and bright so you can just see your desk while working in dark environments. Moving below my monitor arm, this is the Althea large dual monitor riser. So I wanted a riser on my desk to give me more space for adding accessories and to give items a home that needed one, like my MacBook, hard drives, and notebook. I picked up mine in an oak color just to add a warm accent to my setup, and this is made out of the top board and 3 cork legs so it won't scratch your desktop. So I went with the large version of this riser to kind of future-proof myself, so when I do get a second monitor, it just kind of fits right in, and this also acts as a riser for my speakers. And speaking of that, these are my new speakers to the setup, and they are the Sanyun SW208 3-inch speakers in all white. So believe it or not, but it turns out that finding minimal small white desk speakers for a reasonable price is actually like really difficult to do. And after like days of looking for a pair that would be just right for this, these are the ones that I found, and overall they've been really good desk speakers for me. The audio still sounds good, they can connect via Bluetooth, have bass and treble dial controls, and are minimal small speakers that just fit perfectly into this setup. So moving on down to my peripherals, the keyboard I'm using right now is the Logitech MX Mechanical Mini Keyboard for Macs. This keyboard has 84 keys, including full-size arrow keys. They are a soft touch plastic material and feel really smooth and have the slightest concavity to them. This keyboard has Logitech's tactile quiet switches, and for the Mac version specifically, you cannot choose other switches. This keyboard also has great battery life with a 1500 mAh battery inside. The typing experience is very satisfying, and with its more flat keys, I don't misclick quite as often as I did with my Keychron keyboard. So its $120 price tag might seem a little high, but it's actually dropped down from $150, and just overall, between the typing experience, how it feels, and how it looks, I really do enjoy this keyboard and do recommend it. And so probably to absolutely nobody's surprise, but my mouse of choice is the Logitech MX Master 3S. I specifically got this mouse to help speed up my video editing, and the horizontal scroll wheel has been amazing. The ergonomics are fantastic. There are a total of 7 customizable buttons. The sensor inside this mouse is the Dark Field High Precision, which has a range of 200 to 8000 DPI, so it is very accurate and silky smooth to use. I decided to go with the pale gray colorway to match my keyboard, which, as you can obviously tell, gets very dirty quite fast and definitely does show wear, but I really wanted to match the same color scheme as like what I wanted my setup to be. So this is just gonna be something I'm gonna deal with. It's showing no sign of dying anytime soon. Everything still works flawlessly after over a year of use. It's just gotten a little dirty, so I can put up with that for how great this mouse is. So I pair my mouse with the DeltaHub Carpio 2.0. This is essentially an ergonomic wrist rest that moves along with your hand. So before I ordered this, I was actually very skeptical as to how like it would stay on my hand and if it would just be annoying, but it has actually been really great. It glides really smooth, so you don't even notice that's there, and I know that this is a little addition, but when you're editing for hours at a time, it has really saved my wrist from strain, and I highly recommend this product as well. So all my peripherals sit on top of the small wool desk pad by Grovemade. It does not shed all over the place, it's super soft and warm, and it just feels welcoming, especially living in a freezing cold place where 6 months of the year it's like below freezing temperature. Just coming back, late night grinds, and I just put my hands on that warm desk pad instead of the actual cold desktop. There's just something very nice about it. So moving over to my editing headphones of choice, these are the AKG K361 wired version. I went with the wired model because I heard that these were a little more accurate, especially for video editing, and I also did want a cheap pair of like audiophile headphones, and so these kind of just fit the bill perfect for me. These have a super wide soundstage, and I didn't realize how different music sounded from my AirPods Pro to these, and the AKGs also get really loud to the point where I only ever put them up to like a max of 80% volume. So just overall, I can't recommend these enough, again, especially for around the $100 price point. So these sit on a simple headphone mount made by HomeMount. It attaches with a single piece of adhesive tape, which was super easy to install. It is very small, minimal, and allows me to essentially hide my headphones while not in use, and it just saves space on my desktop. So that right there pretty much completes all like the functional components of this desk setup, but now I want to go over like my decorations and everything else that makes this desk setup mine. So on the left side of my desk, I have the Alex drawer unit in all white from IKEA. I know, real original. Everyone and their mother has one of these. But I mean, just look at it. It's so clean, minimal, and modern. It has a bunch of drawers that I have yet to fill up, but I'm sure as time goes on, I will be using these for a bunch of different tech products and other things that I'll need for video editing. Just above this, I have the Skatus wood pegboard from IKEA. I went with the wood color so it matches my desk riser, and I pretty much just use this as a decoration piece by keeping a pair of headphones, old keyboard, and my woobles on there. On the right side of my desk, I have the white lac wall shelf, again from IKEA. I kind of went IKEA crazy with this desk setup. It's so clean and modern, matches the white theme of this setup, and I just have some cool accessories I have collected over the years to decorate it with. As for lighting, I recently got the RGBIC wall lights from Govee. I have had many Govee products over the years, including their portable Wi-Fi lamp, which sits on the left side of my desk. These are both smart lights and connect to the Govee app, and it's just super intuitive and gives you so much control over all their products. These have a wide range of colors and scenes, so you can drastically change the feeling of your setup just by changing these lights. And in the far right corner, I have a Godox light bar, which just sits there for most of the time, but I do use it quite often for filming products and different things with my videos. So some other notable decorations I have are both the Lucario and Appa Funko Pops. Just behind my monitor, I have 3 NF albums: Hope, the search, and clouds. NF has been one of my favorite artists for the past 5 years, bar none. Nobody comes even close to him, and I think these really represent me just because of how much these albums mean to me. They've definitely helped me through some very hard times in my life, and just overall, I think that these decorations right here just fit perfect as the centerpiece of this desk setup, just because how much they mean to me and how much I think that they represent who I am today. Then in the center of my desk riser, I have a Lego Audi R8 by Bricks, Blocks, and Mocks. Yeah, you heard that. Bricks, Blocks, and Mocks, and it's actually accompanied by another fellow YouTuber, and what he's doing is actually really awesome. He designs Lego cars and sells kits so you can have your own favorite car in Lego version, especially if Lego doesn't make it themselves. So me personally, I've always loved the look and design of Audis. I think they're so clean and just sick looking, and I strive and hope to one day be able to get like an Audi RS6 because it's more practical than an R8, obviously. But overall, Bricks, Blocks, and Mocks nailed this design right here, and this Lego piece looks sick, and just having it right there in the center, it just acts like a little motivator to hopefully one day push and be able to get a relatively cool car in the future. And my last decorations are just some plants, including a dragon plant that looks awesome, this little snake plant that chills on my desk, and a mini monstera to add some life to this setup. And the last thing I want to touch on with this desk setup is actually the cable management, as this was like my first time really putting in an effort to keep the cable management nice and clean. But underneath my desk, I attached the BenQ power strip with 12 outlets to give me all the ports I could possibly need to power up this desk setup. The single cable from this power strip, which is covered in a white Alex cord protector, runs down the right leg across the wall, kept neatly in place by an EVO cord hider, and into the outlet. So between those and the cable management accessories from FlexiSpot, I feel like I've done a pretty good job with the cable management, and it's also hard to hide that one cord because this is a rising sitting desk, so it's not just always stationary, so I had to like leave some slack on the right side, so that's why it's out there. But overall, I'm pretty proud of it, and if you have any like recommendations as to how I can improve it, definitely let me know down below. So that right there is gonna conclude my upgraded desk setup for my first apartment that I mainly use for video editing. I think this has come so far since my first setup in my college dorm room about 2.5 years ago. It has everything I need to stay productive and also help keep me inspired to make the best YouTube videos I can. So once again, I want to thank FlexiSpot for sending me this awesome desk right here to feature in this video. I've been absolutely loving it, and if you're interested in picking one up for yourself, don't forget at checkout, use code FlexiSpot30 for their Black Friday deal. So that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope I was able to inspire you just a little bit with your own setups at home. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and subscribe. And as always, have a great day, everyone. Cheers.